Good to see you, Chris, and welcome to TPAC Southern Africa 2025. So it's such a fantastic event, and to have Capisol here has been really wonderful. I just wanted your thoughts on what do you think of the conference to begin with for this week?
Yeah, thanks, Rob. It's great to be here. I think the power of the TPAC is just being able to connect with the partners again. I think it's been a challenging year for us in South Africa 2024. And I think it's been good just being able to see faces again. I think it's been a good time to reconnect with the guys, and I think we sort of remind them that we're here. And it's always the time you think it's just going to be worth it, and that we've got here. And it's been a great weekend.
So I've known you now for just a couple of years, but I really don't know about the history of Capisol. Maybe you can tell the audience what your thoughts and your background.
Yeah, so Capisol's been in existence now 13 years, and really the birth of Capisol came from my years as an FD, where I struggled for various years trying to collect my money. And my path to an FD was quite a different one, where I spent 1 year as a financial manager, and the rest of my training was in operations and supply chain. And so when I pulled into the FD role, I understood the complexities of operations and what was involved in getting stock delivered and getting the paperwork through. And when I then got to finance again and realized that all of the complications of supply chain fed into finance, and we know how to collect the money, but without that link between the two, it was a major problem. So we went out with the primary goal of trying to solve this issue of making sure that clients couldn't delay payments for lack of documentation or any sort of missing documents. And I aged myself, but in those days we used to mail out our invoices and not email them. And but of course, people could say, well, they never received it. So the driver was, well, let's eliminate that excuse. Let's go find solutions that can actually really help the businesses. And 13 years ago, we started in the cloud. And it was quite a journey trying to explain to everybody what the cloud was, why we were in the cloud relative to on-prem. And it was always my vision that you had a solution that could be completely scalable, highly secure, and make sure that you don't have the headaches that somebody internally has to maintain the system. So Capisol took all that on. We'll make sure that the system's running 24/7. We make sure that everything's there. And it's born out of my frustration of being a user, that I didn't want to have to worry about it. It must be something that just works.
Well, the buzz in the street is you've now released Collect, and I think it's been a fantastic February for you. So can you tell us a bit more about Collect?
Yeah, Rob, I think it's been a dream of mine right from the beginning of bringing Collect. And really what we've done is we've taken the power of Capisol, and now we're overlaying the payment statuses of the invoices. And it's opened up a whole new world. And I think it's exciting to see the market feedback already from a few customers we've spoken to. And the feedback from the business partners already is affirmed that it's a product which has got a lot of legs. And I think we're very excited about what it's going to do for our clients and do for the market. So the key thing about it is just being able to give an exec view into this, not only the document statuses, but now actually your payment statuses and your debtors book, and ultimately your cash flow. And I always say, there's no business which closes its doors to pay its suppliers in time. It's those guys who can't collect the money at the front door.
Oh, that's excellent. What are the early feedbacks from some of the customers that now started using Collect?
So the general thing is massive time saving, because the staff are doing a lot of this features manually at the moment, which we've now managed to automate for the guys. And it's early days, but we're expecting to see some significant cash flow improvements for the guys. As I said, it's coupled with the power of the rest of the solution. It's not just an AR collection engine, but it's really powerful document management which sits behind it as well, which couples together to give a really powerful service.
Yes, and just on Collect, early feedback, it seems like Collect has now completed the solution for Capisol.
Definitely, Rob. I think it's, I think the early stages are incredibly powerful solution from the scanning side of things, bringing the PODs. But we sort of felt that we weren't tying as you say, bringing the solution together for the execs. And I think what Collect is now doing, particularly in the stage we're now, where everyone's talking around AI, automation, what are you going to do, how are you going to do it? This is really powerful from a delivery point and visibility. I think it's really, in today's world, everyone wants real-time stuff today.
So you talked about early adapters for Capisol. Can you give us an idea of the different ERP systems that you got involved in and why?
So from an early stage, we were heavily entrenched with Sage. And again, just from my side, where I'd run a X3 site, and got to know the Sage guys very, very well. And as a result, we started with Sage. So we well entrenched with Sage 300, Sage X3. And from there, we sort of migrated around. We went down to 200. We even did in the old days, did Pastel Partner. I think that the benefit is we're not just Sage. We are integrated into lots of other ERP systems. So currently we are into Cispro, Acumatica, we're into Oracle, JDE, SAP V1, and the Microsoft stack. We've got D365, we've got Business Central, we've got Navision. And I think the nice thing for us is we've got the ability to link into any solution, which I think is powerful, because if we have guys that change in ERP systems, they don't have to change Capisol, they don't change their forward-facing side to the customer. And we find that the integrations is a key differentiator for us.
Would you like to sum up Capisol probably in one sentence?
I think the important point from a summary is what is our promise? And our promise to the market is that we're going to be always efficient and consistently reliable. And I think it's an important point for us as a business, because that's how I drive my staff, is that they need to make sure that they're always on their front foot, always giving the best customer service, and we're providing the best possible service to our guys at any point in time. As an overall arching service, we are your partner on AR automation. That's our key.
But Chris, I just wondered, could you give an example of what an implementation would look like to Capisol?
So typically, we would deploy if it's an on-premise ERP system, we've got what we call a connector that we deploy down to the site, and bundles up all the data, might do the printing of the PODs for us. But the whole project would be from start to finish 2 weeks max. With the more complex ones where you've got possibly SAP and there's different business environments, that obviously can drag out. But a Sage 300 site, we can literally take live in 2 days. It's quick and easy, and that's what's the game. It's my drive. That you mustn't be an old school project of it takes 6 months to get something done. I believe that if you've signed off on a project, you want it live and you want it now.
Well, that's brilliant. That's what the customer wants to hear. Hey, Chris, you mentioned Collect. I'm just wondering what we'll be looking for this year from new add-ons.
Sure. So I think the plan at the moment is we've launching Collect into production, and we're going to run that as a bit of a beta and just give the clients a chance to give us some feedback on what else needs to be developed. We are busy with the new emailing module, which is obviously a key thing for us, making sure the security is taken care of. And then we've got a single sign-on multi-factor authentication. I think we're very conscious of security at the moment, making sure that we are at the forefront of what's required from the security point. Post that, we've got some exciting things. I think we just upgraded everything to .NET 8. We've got a UI refresh coming in. Probably going to redo some of our connectors. I think the nice thing is that there's always something happening. We're living in a space where AI is coming in. We're definitely looking at that, seeing what we can do, how we can incorporate them into the system, and ultimately deliver more value. That's what we're here for.
So we saw Capisol at TPAC Asia last year. We see the expansion. What are your thoughts about that as far as Asia and North America?
Yeah, I think it's an exciting thing coming from Africa. Everyone thinks that we're sitting at the tip here and we don't know what we're doing, but it's an interesting discussions. I mean, we've had discussions with Dubai, and they're grappling with things that we've already come to terms with here. So the goal here is to expand. I think we need to take our solution worldwide and see what we can do with it. The feedback has been great, and I think it shows that the solution is very powerful and there is a need in the market. So ideally, we're going to keep expanding and keep rolling out and expand beyond the borders of Africa and see what we can do and take the solution to the rest of the world.
Well, we have an Acumatica conference in Johannesburg this week. What are your thoughts about Acumatica with Capisol?
It's a very good fit. I think a target client for us is around manufacturing, product delivery. Acumatica is strong from a cloud perspective and from the stock management. So it's a very, very good fit for us. We've already got clients on Acumatica, and it's a solid solution. And I think the two is a good synergy. And again, with Acumatica being cloud, it's a natural fit for Capisol to extend it and add on the value. And of course, now with Collect coming in, it adds that value on the AR automation. So it's a very good fit, and I'm looking forward to expanding more into the space.
There's a lot of Sage VARs that are getting excited about Capisol, and I think it's all about intact. What's the future? What do you think will happen for Capisol?
Yeah, Rob, I think the exciting thing is, again, from a TPAC point of view, we've been able to strengthen our relationship with Sage, and we are looking to finally be on the price list, which is a great achievement for Capisol. And part of that agreement is that we will do the integration for Intact. I think that's where Sage's focus is. And again, it's being cloud-based. It makes sense that Capisol is there to offer it and be in the ISV for Intact like it is on the other Sage stable. So we will plan to do that probably in the next quarter. The advantage for us is that cloud-to-cloud connectors are game, and it's easy for us. So we should be able to easily extend this into the Intact market.
So when we talk about expansion, just your thoughts on Azure as a platform for Capisol globally?
Yeah, we've been running on a private cloud for the 13 odd years, and we looked at it 3 years ago. We started doing the research and looking for ways for us to scale. The biggest problem with the private cloud is that you're limited. You put a call and support call to add memory to one of our servers, and it takes a week before it gets commissioned. And we've successfully moved all of our SQL onto Azure, and the benefits we're seeing is exponential. If we need to suddenly add space, it's a click of a button and it happens. We've got software as a service there, or platform as a service with our SQL. So we're excited around the security features that come with it. So our plan is to move the rest of the solution in within the next 3-4 months. And with that, there will come some significant enhancements. And I think it's the stability of Azure. It gives us the scalability, and it allows us to look at the global expansion as well as being able to serve the local markets.
So Chris, you've spoken around AR, the automation. Can you talk, maybe expand a little bit more about the capabilities of Capisol outside that sphere?
Yeah, I think the key focus for us is the AR automation, purely because collecting your cash at the front door is the most important, and that's immediately we're going to see value for the business. And my incentive is that, or my drive is that every site that goes live should have a Capisol. And if you're not using Capisol, you need to make sure you've got your processes in place. That being said, behind Capisol is a very powerful document management solution, and it can do anything. So, we're already in procurement, we're in AP, we can do HR documents, we've got guys storing the management accounts with us. So we're not limited to AR. The point is, when you talk to businesses, that's the most key thing that should be focusing on. And the rest of the stuff is more of a nice to have. But Capisol's got the ability to store all documents, any documents, securely in the cloud, can be uploaded from anywhere, and access from anywhere with tight access controls. So it is a complete solution, but the first point of call when talking to somebody is really around your caches.
Thanks for that, Chris.
Rob, from my side, we've been working together now for 2 years with BeyondERP, and I must say I found the relationship hugely beneficial. I think really, what is your plan with BeyondERP and where's this going?
That's a great question, Chris. I think it's the business approach that I always want to achieve with you, knowing that the product is so good, that global expansion is really on my mind long term. In the immediate term, I think the way that product gets released out there to the public, and how consumers accept identity of something like Capisol, to improve that, and using the facilities, say, of Sage Africa or the TPACs of the world to get an end result. And I think that's a great progression we've made, I think, over the last 2 years. Testing market that's been successful for us, and also introducing Capisol in new countries, going to TPAC in Asia, and thinking about the North American continent as well. It's all these options of how Capisol can grow, and my thoughts of working with you to do that's been a real pleasure.